The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm here with, of course, the usual DC UPenn's finest, but we have Chris Coulter on again. As this is his first episode as an official Sideline Summit co-host. Chris, we are ecstatic to have you. You've been an honorary, Summit guy for the last however many months. Yeah, whenever we first brought you on to do the Kobe episode, bro, we're ecstatic to have you.
Wait, that was August, I believe, right? That was Kobe Day.
Yeah, we brought him on for Kobe Day, and that was literally one of our best episodes. Actually, 2 of our 3 best episodes have included Chris, believe it or not. Kobe episode and our trade deadline episode. But of course, I'm Antonio Perez, Temple's finest, Culture Boy, CB, the Dallas boy, and then of course, like I said, we have DC. We have a great episode for you guys today. Summits Plummets is going to be NBA All-Star Edition. So we're going to be talking about the highs and lows of the All-Star game, which I bet people have a lot of lows. Not me personally. I enjoyed the game and the weekend. And we're going to be talking about the play-in. There's going to be we're in the home stretch, 20-ish games for every team. The West is as close as it gets. The East is kind of all discombobulated with injuries and a bunch of different stuff. And of course, it's yesterday was franchise tag day, starting, and there's a lot of guys that they need their paper. They got to get paid, so we're going to see if we'll pay them. Starting with Summits and Plummets, the highs and lows of the All-Star game.
I'm kicking it off.
You want to? All right. DC.
Man, my plummet starts with DK Metcalf, because there was a video that went viral, him jumping 18 feet in the air, and then in this celebrity game, he looked like he could barely dunk. So I don't know what the truth is.
Hey, respect the tomahawk coming down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't expect to see that. I didn't expect to see that. And yeah, DC, honestly, when you said it, I looked at that video maybe 12 times. I was like, there's no way humanly possible this dude jumped that high off vert. That was off, not running, not jumping, just off vert.
Someone checked on frame. They said he jumped 12 and a half feet high.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh, just like Kobe jumped over the car. Same thing. Yeah. Same way.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And then he got the drug test the next morning.
Rightfully so. I would test him for anything.
Anything.
Everything possible.
Springs in his legs, anything.
So swing to Chris. What was one of your highs or lows for NBA All-Star Weekend, or the game itself? I put the game, but anything in the weekend.
Well, for the game, easily, my least favorite part of the game was the picking of the teams. And the reason why I didn't like it as much, I think it could have I think it was really, really good. But I think, first of all, I don't know if you guys know this, but Charles, Kenny, and Shaq's mic were on for probably 20 minutes of it, so I couldn't really hear that well. And then, I know what they were trying to do, kind of extend it a little bit, but I feel like if it's playground rules, nobody talks that much and gives that many monologues before, so you kind of can make it a little short. That was the part I didn't like most. I think it took away just from the cool part of picking them, because I kind of started to forget what the teams were because they had them talking so much. So I think that'd be my least favorite part of the All-Star game.
Yeah, I would agree. I kind of wish they were just lined up on the sideline and they had Giannis and LeBron out on the court and just my team, your team, and
you're
that.
Playing pickup ball in the street.
Yeah, it's not like an actual draft. Literally make it pick up. You're picking dodgeball teams, which is a point that Maddie made. She was like, "Oh, it's gonna be like dodgeball." I was like, "Well, that's what I thought." So I said, "Yeah." I thought they were just gonna pick them right up off the court, warm up, and then get right into it. Apparently not. No. And yeah, I agree. That is a plummet. I'm going to start with the Summit, though. I'm going to start with a high point. My boy, most points ever in an All-Star game, All-Star MVP. It's got to be the Kicks, Jason Tatum. 1 point I wanted to make. He shot less shots than Steph Curry, played 1 less minute than Steph Curry, and had 5 more points than he did last year, except people just pick and choose who they want to celebrate. So just want to point that out there. Jason Tatum, clearly
much love, JT.
I guess I'll kick it off. We do a little serpentine. My plummet is the skills challenge, which I don't think a lot of people look forward to, but I used to. I really did. The one-on-ones, the dribble between the cones, finished that used to be fun. And Jason Tatum he won one his second year. He beat Nikola Jokic and Trae Young. But the team, it's not fun. Because I'm gonna be honest with like the Bucks team wasn't. No one wants to see them, and the Rooks are cool, but like they did bad, and the skills challenge that if anything has to go, either swing it back to how it used to be, or replace it with the one-on-one tournament that we've all been asking for.
Tell them watch the show and take some pointers. Get the one-on-one challenge instead of the skills challenge.
Exactly.
Easy. Well, I think I'm next, right? Also, okay. My favorite part of All-Star Weekend, and I won't use yours though because I love JT winning an All-Star game V2. I thought it was really cool. I'm not hating on him like everybody else. You got to score the points. I don't care if you're wide open. You got to make the shot.
Mm-hmm.
But the part I like the most, I would say, is Dame Lillard winning the three-point shootout and him making the game winner in the All-Star game because I think it's just fit for Dame. Like, for one, if there's anybody who's missing credit for anything and who gets like kind of overlooked when you come to point guard, things like that, I think it's Dame. So him being able to win a three-point shootout and everybody doing a Dame time celebration, I think it was cool to celebrate him, you know, in a respect because I don't think he's going to leave Portland anytime soon unless something drastic changes. Exactly. I think it's really cool to do that. And it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, I like Dame enough, so it's like give him some love. So that's probably my favorite part.
I enjoyed that for sure.
All right. I'm just going to do one motion. You want to know what it is?
Yeah, that was cool too.
Mac went insane. Mac did a great
went
job.
Insane. He got robbed though, so my summit is going to be his performance, and the plummet's going to be the judge.
The 49.5. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I thought he did
I
absolutely fantastic. I think everyone did well, and like Chris said, Jericho Sims easily had the most bounce there, but he had no creativity. None.
Here's the thing, though. Like, why did the problem with the dunk competition is LeBron refused to do it, so he created this star culture where people don't want to be in the dunk competition. I think the last star to do it, he's not even a star, is Aaron Gordon. Exactly.
See, here's the thing.
This is pre-stardom. This is pre-stardom for them.
Everyone will say the best contest, like duel in the dunk contest, was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. At that time, both of them, they weren't scrubs, but like far from even fringe all-stars. Like like Zach LaVine got put on the scene by that. Aaron Gordon hasn't been good until this year, which he's still complaining that he didn't make an all-star game.
He might be drunk.
Brother, you average 17 and 8, that's great.
You know what's crazy? Michael Porter Jr. might be closer to an all-star than Aaron Gordon.
This is the problem, guys. This is the problem. This is why Aaron Gordon thought he should have been an all-star because he looked over and he's seen Jaren Jackson 16 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks, and he was like, well, damn it, I should be in there too. That's the problem. That's why Aaron Gordon was surprised.
That's a good point. I don't think either of them. I think Anthony Davis should have made it. I don't care if dude played 5 games on the year. I think AD should have been in because we love AD.
Man, he's complaining, but Steph Curry didn't make the All-Star game because he was hurt.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well,
at the end of the day, Curry would have been there if he wasn't hurt. KD would have been there.
True. Well, that was like. See, I don't even know what to say East-West because
if you want to fix the controversy behind this, get rid of Team LeBron, Team Giannis. Bring back East versus West, and it's so easy.
Well, picking the teams is cool. And
you can still pick teams to say we have our East All-Stars.
East-West doesn't – if anything, if that was the format this year, it'd be so confusing because 2 starters went West. So then that happens. Then who's starting? Like what are we doing? So I think that was weird too, in a situation like that, which I don't think we'll ever see again, but a situation like that, honestly, good for the game. But playing predictions, the West is absolutely loaded. And honestly, like a lot of them have relatively easy schedules with remaining. The Mavericks have the 30th ranked remaining like strength of schedule. They are the 6th seed. I promise you, they'll be certified playoff in my eyes. But from there, I'm talking games back and strength of schedule from the Mavericks. So 7th seed Pelicans have the 28th ranked strength of schedule, half a game back. Wolves are the 12th strength of schedule remaining, half a game back. Golden State is 16th, so it's below average, only a game back. And they're getting healthy. Thunder, they're 26. Super easy, 2 games back. Now, if 14th is the Blazers, well, excuse me, they are the 11th seed, 14th ranked strength of schedule remaining. They're 2.5 back, which is a half game back from the play-in. Of course, you got the Lakers, who are 3.5 games back, but they have the 25th ranked schedule. That is easy, and that's where I think this can get tough. Down the stretch, I believe the Pelicans might not make it. They do have the 28th easiest schedule. They are 13-17 without Zion Williamson. I do believe the Wolves will be in the play-in. I'm a huge fan of Anthony Edwards. They'll be getting healthy with Karl Anthony Towns. Golden State, I think they'll get in. They just got to hang on until Steph. Steph will keep them in the play-in. Now,
they say every Superman got a kryptonite. And if the Celtics make the finals again and the Warriors are there.
Well, I hope we won't play drop coverage on Steph Curry again. So maybe he isn't, but
that's like playing press man on Jamar Chase. It's just something you're not supposed to do.
It's like pressing AJ Brown. It's like I don't know, going under the screen on Steph Curry, man. It's just now there is another team between the Thunder and Blazers, the Jazz. I don't predict the Jazz to be very competitive through the end of the year. I did not include them. If they do end up making the play-in, please don't clip this. But I don't have the Blazers making it. It's an above-average strength of schedule. They're already a half game back from the Thunder. And I don't know if the team's truly deep enough. They traded a true glue guy in Josh Hart. You're kind of just balling out there with Damian and Anthony Simons. Huge fan of both, but I don't know how they'll act down the stretch. I think the last play-in spot will truly come down to LA. Well, LA and the Thunder could get in by how I'm drawing it up. But if one of
it's setting up for,
it's tough.
It's setting up for a Lakers-Warriors playing game.
And that's another question I want to ask. So let's say we get Wolves, Golden State, Thunder, or no, let's say we get Wolves. I'll go Wolves, Golden State, Blazers, and Lakers. We would have Steph Curry versus Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. And then you have LeBron versus Dame. And then the winner of that plays the loser of the other game. We're going to get all of these teams. I would mainly point towards Wolves, Golden State, Lakers. That if they're the 7th or 8th seed, you really, I don't know how much you want to see them. I don't know how good this Lakers team is yet, but I mean,
yeah, that's
I would not know.
Man,
so
that's not a team you run into.
That's my 4 making it down the stretch. One thing to also note, the Clippers are only a game and a half above the play-in, and they have the second hardest schedule left. Take what you want with that. Chris, who do we see clinching play-in spots down the stretch?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this a lot, and me being a Lakers fan, clearly play-ins yay. So I've been thinking about the 4 teams getting in. It's really similar to yours, honestly. I have the Timberwolves, the Warriors, the Lakers, and I have the Thunder. And you guys know since the first episode, I've been talking about Shea. He's one of my favorite players. Been one of my favorite players. I think he's going to carry that team to the play-in. I'm not sure if they make the actual playoffs, but I think those are my 4 teams for the simple fact of I think the Lakers got a lot better at the trade deadline for one. They got a lot better in the sense of what fits. I think Russ is still a good player. I think he's going to do good work on the Clippers. In reality, I think he's going to be good for them. But as far as team fit goes, athleticism, shooting, what you need around Anthony Davis and LeBron, I think they got a lot better. So I think they're in the play-in. I think the Thunder are in the play-in because, they've been relatively healthy all year outside of Chet being out. And if they can continue to play how they've been playing, they should be around 9 and 10 at the very least, in my opinion, even if they lose a couple games. The Warriors, of course, even with Steph out right now, they should be good with Poole and Clay finally getting his form back and everything else. And hopefully Wiggins coming back soon with I know he has some family things going on. So I think they're good. And I got the T-Wolves. Like I said, the Pelicans, well, first of all, little shameless plug. I had Zion Williamson on my fantasy team. And, playoffs are this week, so yay. And so Zion's out. With Zion being out and, like you said, Tony, them being 13 and 17, I don't know if B.I. and C.J. alone can get them through what they need to do to be able to stay into the playoff race. So that's my 4, and I think the 2 make it out, maybe. I got Lakers and Warriors 7 and 8 just because, but, yeah, those my 4.
Danny, one thing before you start, I want to mention all of the teams I just named are 500 or below in their last 10 games. Just want to point that out. No team is truly better than another. But Danny, who do you see clinching their play-in spots down the stretch with 25 T-minus games left?
To be honest, I'll tell you this. I think that the Pelicans can jump up and grab the 6th seed. It's a little bold, but I think the Pelicans can actually jump up. Yeah, easy schedule. Zion's him.
If he gets back in time, I mean, he's going to be reevaluated this week for the hamstring. But he better get back sooner than later.
Exactly. But no, my 8 through 10, 8 through what, 12? 8 through 10?
It's
7 through 10.
7 through 10, sorry.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
the 7th seed who earned their spot
Yeah,
could
that's so weird.
potentially fall all the way out. But
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
weird.
so the 7th seed, I'm going to get the Warriors. I think the Warriors are going to be really good down the stretch. The 8th seed, give me the Wolves. I think the Wolves really is turning up down the stretch. 9th seed, give me the Thunder. 10th seed, give me the Lakers.
so if the Pels get out of it, are you saying the Mavericks fall out of it, or
No, I'm saying the Clippers fall out of it.
so you think they're going? You got them going from 4 to out. That I'm not gonna.
That's not too crazy, DC. I'm not too crazy.
I do disagree, but I mean, if anybody's gonna, it's the LA Clippers.
Here's the thing, though, man.
You
know how Juju said the Browns is the Browns? The Clippers are the Clippers.
And that's actually true. And it's a shame because they have, I think since 2010, since 2010, if you were to make an all-time team from then of the Clippers, they'd be phenomenal. Paul George, you'd have
Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan.
You'd have Blake. Yeah, this would be a bomb squad. And guess what? Nothing to show for it.
Nothing.
Not an MVP.
The only thing is
a championship. Nothing.
I don't know how Russ is going to fit in their team.
Well, we're gonna find out because everybody said with the Lakers, the talent will find itself out. Well, now you're with 2 less talented players and a guy who's coming off just getting traded. I don't know how that's going to go. Kicking it to the East, though.
He got traded to the other locker room.
Literally, downstairs.
Yeah. He
got sent downstairs.
At least he got to stay home. He didn't have to buy a new home.
He
Until they moved to Inglewood, but
imagine he was looking at homes and where he got traded to, out in the middle of nowhere, and he was
he probably didn't even take a flight to Utah.
He probably didn't even come.
That buyout.
He probably said, "I'm not playing here. Don't even try to talk to me. I'm not playing."
We're talking out through Zoom. Let's talk about it on Zoom. I don't need to come.
Talk it over the phone. Now in the East, things are a little more separated. But I think there are tiers to all this.
There are some tiers, but you want me to go? I'll go first. We'll kick it off in a little serpentine order.
Okay, just bring it off. Who is getting those 4 play-in spots in the East?
So currently, the Nets have a 7, Knicks 8, Heat 9th. Where's that strength of schedule?
No. The notes I share with you, that is the rank, that is their standings in order. Ironically, yes, the Nets have the 7th hardest, Knicks have the 8th hardest, and the Heat have the 9th hardest. And those are your 5, 6, 7th seeds.
Yeah. So ironically enough, that is true. So we have said the 7th, 8th, 9th hardest schedules remaining. I think the Nets actually make the playoffs, contrary to a lot of people. They think they're just going to fall off. I think the Nets
the playoffs as in they'll be secure, or they're going to be in play?
No, they're going to be in play-in. Which is they're going to be in the play-in range, which is it's going to be hard to get through. But I actually think that the Heat, and he's got to hear me out, the Heat and the Bulls start making some runs later in the season.
So Chris is, I'm not going to say an avid Chicago hater, but he does see the flaws best in the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, I believe, are 2 games out of the 10th seed, and they have – look, I don't even watch the Bulls, and it is national attention how bad they are with leads. So bad. And I don't get it. They can't hang on to a lead. If they could, trust me, they'd be where the Knicks are right now.
They'd be 6.
They make a run, maybe, but they really got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So we'll go to Chris in a second. Danny, so who are your 4 that are going to be in the play-ins? You said Nets, you said Heat, Bulls. So we need one more spot there.
One more spot?
Yeah.
You mean Atlanta Hawks?
I would agree.
I think getting rid of their coach is going to help spark the team culture.
Yeah, that was like coaching is very important in basketball, and a lot of people do like to overlook it. But if you look at all the top
unless
teams,
you're the Boston Celtics,
yeah, just throw anybody in the mix, and they're gonna get cooking. Chris, who do you have as the 4 playing teams in the East?
It's funny that I don't love the Chicago Bulls because I'm Chicago. I'm born and raised in Chicago. I just moved to Dallas 5 years ago. So everybody who knows me says I just turned on Chicago, when in reality, I just never liked the Bulls as a franchise. But in saying that, my 4 teams I have in the play-in, this is going to surprise you. So think about Chicago when I say what I'm about to say. I have the Heat in the play-in. I have the Hawks. So I'm with you on those 2. Now, my 3rd play-in team in the East have the Raptors, because for some reason they're always around. I don't know why, but they're around. And them getting Jakob Poeltl, I think, helps a lot because they can stop playing Pascal at center and put him back at the 4. And then you have real switchable wings out there with Van Vliet and Trent. So I think they can, make a 3 to 5 game win streak and, really move up a little bit. And this 4th team, I said keep Chicago in mind because I'm going to a city close. Indiana. I think the Pacers are going to make the play-in. This is why.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is why. So, as much as I love Anthony Edwards, I see a lot of Anthony Edwards in Bennedict Mathurin. I see a lot of them in Bennedict Mathurin, like play style, aggressiveness, body type, build, how he plays, a lot of it. I really like Halliburton, and them paying Turner. Turner's been turning up since he's got his money. They won their last game before All-Star break. Now, mind you, they were 2-8 over their last 10. I get that. But the Bulls are also 3-7. They lost 6 in a row. So, and I know that's like just to add a little spice, but I think the Pacers can make a run at that 10 spot. I got the Heat 7, Hawks 8, Raptors 9, Pacers 10, like in and out the season. I think the Bulls are close to the Pacers. I think the Pacers and Bulls are the 2 teams that fight for that last spot. But yeah, I got the Pacers at 10.
Yeah, I like that one. And in my original one, I did have the Bulls and Pacers making the play-in. Don't know how real that is, but I won't have the Raptors in. They have the 5th hardest remaining schedule. But I do think Jakob Poeltl could help. So maybe that is a little misleading. I do have the Nets bumping down to the play-in. I think the 7th hardest schedule, they could run into some star power down the stretch, but I do think they hang on in the play-in. I most likely have them winning the 1 game they'll have to play. I think the Knicks stand clear of the play-in. I think the Knicks will remain the 6th or 5th seed. I'm very pleased with them as of lately, particularly Jalen Brunson, who I was very low on. He's been phenomenal. So my play-in would look like Nets as the 7th seed. I have the Heat at the 8th seed. Their offense is abysmal, hard to watch, but damn, they play defense. They play defense, and Jimmy Butler will turn up when you need him to. That 100%. You can always bet on. I'm going to have the Hawks as the 9th seed. Originally, I didn't have them making it. I think a new coaching scenery will help them out a lot. I think the more DeJounte and Trey get to play together, the more they'll figure out how to make it work, especially with Clint. And the last spot, I have the Washington Wizards. They're the 18th strength of schedule remaining. They are 4 games back from getting out of the play-in currently. But I would never thought I'd be saying this, fan of Kyle Kuzma. Because he's truly elevated. He's a 3-level scorer, averaging 20 a game. Kristaps has found a very good role there. I think I can see him hanging on to that 10th spot. Are they going to win 2 do-or-die games to make it to the playoffs? Probably not. Especially when you got to play a guy like Trey or Jimmy or a stout team like the Nets. I doubt it's happening. But, yeah. So we're going Nets, Heat, Hawks, Wizards, and we find the Raptors, Bulls, Pacers out.
Yeah, and about that too. That was the team I was thinking about. Like it was either Wizards or Pacers because I like the way the Wizards are constructed. I think they have a really good team. Honestly, I thought in the buyout market, if the Wizards were really going to make this playoff push, I thought they'd go after Russ again. Only for the simple fact that he had pretty good success with them with lesser players to an extent. So him going back there, I feel like that would have been a cool move to really put them, maybe around that HC spot, around time. But yeah, I like the Wizards team too. I think that's really good. That's good. Good pick.
Yeah. One thing I just messed up. One of these, if the Nets are bumping back to the play-in, one team has to come forward.
Knicks.
The Knicks
got to go to 5 or 6.
The Knicks are already in the 6th seed. The Nets are the 5th. Unfortunately, I have to pick someone to make it forward. It's Miami Heat, but or maybe maybe the Nets. Maybe the Nets hang on, and I go Heat, Hawks, Wizards, Raptors as it currently is. I could maybe see the Hawks, Wizards flopping. Maybe Hawks, Raptors. Just it might take a little bit to get used to a new head coach, but yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with the guns here. I think the Nets can hang on to a true playoff spot. But now, this is take the skyline, which is essentially, are we keeping this guy or are we sending him on the skyline? He's got to get out of here. Pay the QB. I think we're all avid Lamar Jackson fans. And no one has higher more QB headlines about payment than this man. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't know why he hasn't been paid yet.
Okay, hear me out. Todd Monken is speaking about Lamar like he's going to be there for the next 15 years. He's a Raven.
You believe he's a Raven? Okay, so according to Spot Track, his projection on a contract would be $40.7 million. Are you paying?
As it should be. He's an MVP.
Okay, so 40.7. You are paying that. Is that what you're saying?
I'll pay 55 for Lamar Jackson. I don't care. Okay. He's the MVP.
Okay. I think we're all in on that. Chris, would you give Lamar Jackson a multi-year deal, 40.7?
He's a Ravens fan.
You're talking to a Ravens fan right here. I was just about to say, thank you for my little intro. And of course I'm giving. You know what I would do? Just to make it a little better, I'm like, hey, Lamar, we apologize for making you wait so long. This was a stupid game we were playing in the first place. Here's a check. We're going to let you write your number on it, and then we're going to cash it. You take it right now. Take the whole thing right now. No, but I'll be as a side. Yes, Pam. Because, at the end of the day,
he's like,
we've seen the offense without him. We've seen the offense with him.
Horrible.
If we're going to stay a running team, like it looks like, let's stay a running team, it's almost like it's a good idea to have a top 2 running quarterback.
It's not even about that. Even if you're going to stay a running team, Tom Monken's great. He's a great offensive coordinator. Even if you're not staying a running team, Lamar has one of the best arms in the NFL. I don't want to hear that he can't throw. I think he literally has a top 10 arm in the NFL. So it's actually abysmal that people think he can't throw. And they think he can't throw because he rushed for 1,500 yards. Same issue with Justin Fields. Fields can throw too. People realize they didn't watch him. They didn't watch him break a rib in the playoff game and then proceed to throw a 70-yard pass downfield.
So Lamar Jackson, couple notes. It's rumored by Rappaport he's getting the exclusive tag, which is $45 million. It gives the team to write to Lamar Jackson's and the ability to trade if a deal isn't met, but it helps them put a deal in place. If he gets a normal tag, that means Lamar can explore, almost like a restricted free agent, where he can this team's gonna pay me, trade me there, but that team has to give up 2 first-round picks. Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one, dude. Just give him a blank check. I still a lot of people are more in on maybe bumping Lamar out there top 5 for Jalen Hurts. Look, however you have it, this dude is one of the 6 best quarterbacks in football. He's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in football.
Undeniably.
And he has revolutionized the game as a running quarterback. Your quarterback has to be able to move. And I know, people can say, well, Vic did that. Vic can't throw. They say Randall Cunningham could do that. Look, Randall had a great arm.
Man, I don't know if you, bro. I don't know if you're smoking, but Vic could throw. I don't know if you watched.
Vic did not throw. Because you want to know something?
Vic couldn't hit his targets consistently.
In 2 seasons, listen to this. In 2 seasons, Lamar Jackson is going to pass him in passing touchdowns and passing yards. In 2 seasons. He's not a good passer. That is one of the biggest myths in football. He is 130 career passing touchdowns.
I get that. I know that. I'm not saying Vic is a phenomenal thrower, but the phrase that he can't throw is kind of blown out of proportion.
He's not a great passer.
He's not a great passer. He's solid though.
So yeah, but Lamar is not only
Lamar's
a better runner than Michael Vick. He's not only a better runner than Michael Vick, he
much more dynamic.
curb stomps him as a thrower. It's insane. It's unreal. So we're all in agreement. You got to pay the man. You got to pay Lamar Jackson. You got to keep him a Raven. We'll move on to his AFC North rival, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is projected for $44 million. Reports are saying he's going to get a 6-year, $300 million deal with $200 in guarantees. If we're going to go serpentine, I'll go first. You pay the man. I'll absolutely pay Joe Burrow. I think he's been phenomenal. I think he gets a lot of hate for having weapons. I mean, that's not really his fault. And it's not like he's been bad. He's been phenomenal with these weapons. He's been a top 3-4 quarterback with these weapons. When he's healthy, obviously outside of the rookie year ACL, the past 2 years, I think he's been really good. Especially this year, he turned it up a notch. In a couple games where he didn't have Chase, him and T. Higgins took full advantage of it. I would definitely, if Joe Burrow was asked, I want to be the highest paid quarterback in football, I would give it to him because that's just how the market works. And he's
I don't know about that.
Very good. Chris, are we paying Joe Burrow $44 million or the 6-year contract that is apparently on the table?
Me personally, just understanding the Bengals haven't always had success, and it's quarterback's such an important piece of the franchise, and like you said, they have the weapons already. And I mean, while you have the weapons, you can't play every position player, what they're probably going to ask for at some point. So why
T. Higgins gone? T. Higgins is out the window.
And you at least keep the quarterback at least. And I think for Joe Burrow, what he's done for them in that time, I think you have to pay him if you're Cincinnati. Maybe if it's another team, maybe not. But if you're the Bengals, I think you have to.
I think you're just scheming. I think you want the Ravens to have a better chance because the Bengals are going to give Burrow a supermax deal, a very large deal, and then not going to be able to pay anybody else on the team. They're going to give him $70 million a year.
I mean, that wouldn't be terrible. But even still, like I said, if you're the Bengals, I feel like they just had they had to sit through John Kitna and Carson Palmer and stuff like that. I mean, Carson Palmer wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. But I think Joe Burrow's better than that. And it could be because of the weapons, maybe. But I think if you're the Bengals, for what you've been through as a franchise, you got to pay him.
Yeah, I mean, let's stick in that draft class. Let's move to the guy who was drafted.
Well, you didn't go yet. You didn't go yet.
About what?
You didn't go yet.
You would pay Joe Burrow or not?
Would you make Joe Burrow the highest paid quarterback in football? Because you know damn well he wouldn't settle for anything less.
And guess what? He's not worth the highest paid quarterback in football, but he will get paid. So that's my answer.
Okay. Everybody's overpaid, dude. I mean, you have to make him the highest paid quarterback in football.
Okay.
What are you gonna give him a 3-year-old market deal and give him $35 million?
No. So
you got to pay.
At the end of the day,
he deserves it.
Brady always took discounts, and he was never paid as the highest. And Mahomes
Brady took a 10.
Hold on. I have something to talk about. Mahomes taking that 10-year deal honestly gives the Chiefs a discount. And we didn't realize it.
I mean, for 5 years, he's still going to be one of the 5 highest QB cap hits in the league.
Oh, yeah, he will.
Oh, with Brady, you're lying because he had a decade-long stretch where he didn't make the Super Bowl because he thought he had to secure his bag. He didn't win a Super Bowl for the next 10 years. And then he decided to make a pay cut. Look, dudes aren't going to do that. Why? Because Matt Stafford just won a Super Bowl. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Patrick Mahomes just won a Super Bowl. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Look, the NFL is all about trends. And
front office get better. That's all you got to say.
Exactly. Front offices get better. Managers get better. They're going to find a way to have this star-studded bag-chasing quarterback with a badass roster. And they're going to go win Super Bowls. So, look, yes, quarterbacks should do the cool thing, but regardless of how cool you think a guy is, they're never going to take the discount. I thought Jalen Hurts, he's such a good dude. He's about to take this. He's about to take this 35. Boy, I need him to get the deal done before Burrow does, because if Burrow gets that $300 million, $200 million guarantee, I don't even want to know what Jalen Hurts is going to get. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but yeah. Danny, moving on, we're gonna start with you. We're gonna start with another 2020 guy, not Jalen Hurts. We're gonna start with Justin Herbert. He's projected for $42.4 million a year. Do you pay the man?
Yes. Simply, this roster is a Little League roster without Justin Herbert. He keeps them in games.
Little League
you
roster. Not
Yeah.
a knock on him. It's just like this. Look, me and Danny were huge. Like I truly thought the Chargers were going to go 15-2 this year. I was so bought in on them, and I think the only reason they even have 10 wins is because Herbert. But Danny, keep going.
Austin Eckler and Herbert carried the offense. Mike Williams did not look great throughout the season. Keenan Allen was hurt. He's aging. He's up there.
Guys can stay.
You have to pay your quarterback and get better weapons around him. You can say, "Oh, he had these elite wide receivers." You got to go get better. You got to go get better, and you got to get more depth.
Healthier. They can't rely on.
Well, you got to get more depth, bro. Keenan Allen is slow. He probably runs a 4.7 40.
Yeah, and then Keenan Allen.
I genuinely think I'm faster. I think I'm faster than Keenan Allen right now.
I hope you don't genuinely think that, because I think the top 80 receivers in the league would smoke you. But
I don't know about that.
But Keenan Allen.
I'm smoking Keenan Allen and Hunter Renfrow in a race any day of the week.
No, you're not. You run like a 4.9 at best.
That's cat. That's cat.
You're not. You are not beating Keenan Allen in a race, dude.
That's cat.
You're definitely not beating Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow is slow. He runs at 4.10.
And so are you. Just because the name has sprint football in it doesn't mean sprint equals fast. I know buddies who run 15-second 100 meters.
That's not what I'm saying. 15-second 100 meters.
Yeah. Slow.
Holy crap. They're slow.
Just like you. Because you're not beating Keenan Allen in a race, dude.
I am, though. He's so
you're
bad.
Not. No, you're not.
He's so bad.
Here's what you need to understand. What do you think you run? What do you think you run?
I run
a 40?
A 4.7.
So you run a 4.7. Professional athlete Keenan Allen runs a 4.7. How was yours timed?
It was laser timed.
It was laser timed.
How else did you? Yes.
Okay. I will give you the benefit of the doubt. I will look up Keenan Allen's 40 time, and I will add 0.2 seconds to it. I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's look up this Keenan Allen.
You ran a 4.7,
He ran a 4.71 at the combine?
Yep. Yes.
Maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. He still smoke you, though. But he still would smoke you. Absolutely.
I think you're faster than him, to be fair.
I'm definitely not. I know I'm not. Because I'm realistic. Unlike you. You're the type of person that you think you could pick a certain NBA player to beat one-on-one.
Bro, I could not beat an NBA player. NBA player is.
And you can't beat an NFL wide receiver in a ring.
And you can't. An NBA player is digging my grave and killing me.
And so is Keenan Allen. But moving to Chris, we're still talking about Justin Herbert. I think we're all in agreement. Do we pay Justin Herbert the $42.4 million that he's projected to make?
He worth 50.
I think you pay him. It's hard for me to say no on quarterbacks who've literally won multiple games a year for teams. Like kind of like DC said, like one team I watched outside of my Ravens this year kind of close was the Chargers because I heard so much about them being good this coming year. So I kind of paid more attention. And every time I was watching this, like no matter what, everything's centered around Herbert and Eckler. Like those are the two guys you got to pay. And I think with how athletic people are just in general, especially football players, and you get athletes in college, you can get receivers who can be speedy, who can be good, but you got to have a quarterback to put the ball where they need it to be. I mean, in reality, so I think you got to pay him. You got to pay him. You got to.
Yeah, and I would agree. We're gonna just move past this real fast. Do we hand Jalen Hurts a blank check?
No, not blank. Not blank.
Not blank.
Okay, it's not blank, but it's damn near blank. You say it's blank?
A blank check is like $50 million plus. That's what I mean.
Okay, yeah, sure. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
If Daniel Jones is asking for 45, Jalen Hurts for 80.
That's what we're about to move to. Daniel Jones wants $45 million a year, but Spot Track has him as a $26.2 million a year quarterback.
Let me ask
you
something. Ready?
Would you pay him 35?
Yes, but that's not the question because the QB market.
That's what I just asked. That is the question. Would you pay him 35?
Yes, I would do that, and I'll say why. The QB market is going to continuously be inflated the same way the wide receiver market is going to be inflated throughout the years. The Giants' dilemma is really whether they pay Saquon or not. But what I'll say is this: Daniel Jones is worth that money. You have to come. You have to come in and say how much is like. If I'm negotiating as a professional athlete, will I? And I know my market value is worth 26. Am I going to say, "Hey, I want 28," or am I going to say, "Hey, I want 40"? Like,
yeah, it's almost like it's almost like selling sneakers. If you got a $200, you want it for $200. Yo, boss, let me get these for $500. I'm like, I don't know, man, maybe like $350, and
the Giants are going to counter and say, "Oh, I'll give you 30. I'll give you 32," and Jones is going to be like, "That's more than I expected. Cool, I'll accept that."
Yeah. Is Daniel Jones smart enough to make that decision? I don't know.
Yes, he went to Duke.
Let his touchdown to turnover ratio determine that one. Chris, would you pay Daniel Jones $35 million?
Speaking of Duke, DC, by the way, I'm a big Duke men's basketball fan. So yes, I heard him Daniel Jones on accident. On accident, I heard him on.
They stink.
On accident.
They're horrible.
Oh, this year we're really, really bad.
Yeah, so is all the big blue guy like
that's
UNC, Villanova.
Kentucky's bad. Kentucky's not good. And this is my thing. So before I even get into that,
what happened? Like what James Ross said. What happened?
Yeah, I can go all day on Duke. But to answer the question that was proposed, no, I would not pay Daniel Jones. No, not a chance.
Not even 35? Not even 35?
I'm stopping at 25, and this is the reason why. Daniel Jones is an elite quarterback, in my opinion. So the elite quarterbacks, you give $30+ million. I understand what the market is. I totally understand that. I'll let Daniel Jones play on this franchise tag. You can go explore what you want to, and I'll just draft the quarterback in next year. Because at the end of the day, Daniel Jones isn't that good. In my opinion.
I do feel that. I think a lot of people they're saying oh, let's give him Geno money. I'm like, dude, Geno blew this dude out of the water this year. He was so much better than Daniel Jones this year.
I get that. But people are slowly forgetting Geno had Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant, and DK Metcalf, and Daniel Jones' best. Bro, hold up. Daniel Jones' best receiver was Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, who blew out his knee, and Wan'Dale Robinson and Kenny Golladay.
You're giving Daniel Jones a little bit too much credit.
I'm not giving him that much credit. I'm giving him a little bit more credit than he deserves. I'm saying he's worth $30 million.
I think we need to look. I think we need to look at Brian Dable as a huge reason why he didn't turn the ball over at all. Because let's say he had an old coach with those weapons, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. This dude would be learning Chinese.
Okay, I get that, right?
No, look, I agree.
He's a product of the system.
I think he's
a product of the system.
Yes.
But a lot of people are.
It's hard to say that when the team is not talented. But yeah, I do agree. I think they will pay him, but not.
I'll set the cap somewhere. Set it somewhere at 30.
That's not a. You want to go win a Super Bowl, man. That's just not my move, honestly. But moving on to a quarterback who's not really due for an extension. There hasn't been much talk, but I wanted your guys' opinions. Tua Tagovailoa. If he were to be offered an extension this season, would we give it? Daniel, I want to start with you on this one because I don't know your opinions on Tua. I like the guy. So
okay, Tua as a person, as a quarterback, sure. But his health is up in the air. You don't know if he's going to play another down of football. If you have medical doctors in the room and they said this man, his brain is not injured anymore, he's fine. He doesn't really have a risk of getting re-injured. Sure, but the way the human brain works is not that way.
Unfortunately,
you saw he got a concussion against the Packers and did not report his symptoms to the next day. And ever since then, he hasn't played football.
That is true, and that was a bad loss for Miami, man.
If Miami would have just lost to the Jets week 18, the Steelers would have went to the playoffs and played the Bills and lost. But Kenny Pickett would have had a playoff debut.
Yeah, we're all rooting for Kenny Pickett over here. Me personally, I used to be a big hater. Chris, would you pay Tua Tagovailoa if you're the Dolphins?
And I'm a hater by default, DC. Sorry, Ravens fans.
It's okay.
Hater by
none against you guys.
I love a good hating monologue. I really do. Born to do this, believe it or not.
It's okay. Kenny Pickett is the best quarterback in the division.
That
okay. So next time when we're talking about real stuff, I'll ask DC a question again. But
that is complete sarcasm. But I do think he's the third best.
I do like Kenny Pickett's game. I wasn't familiar with the game at first, like Shaq said, but then now I'm familiar. So I understand now. Yeah, I was a casual. I wasn't familiar with Kenny Pickett with Kenny Pickett's game. But I mean, with Tua, and that's why football is a man's sport. Like I always say that just with the beginning, because I mean, in my heart, I'm saying like, oh, Miami should pay Tua because of what he's went through on the franchise and so on. So, but this is real life. And in reality, exactly. And in reality, like DC said, I don't know if he's gonna, and not play another down football. But I don't know how many downs he has left. If he gets hit again or another head to the turf, is he gonna be okay? And for that sense alone, with how much uncertainty is and with how important the quarterback position is, I'm probably not gonna pay him. It's gonna be. It sounds really, really bad, but I probably wouldn't, just because I mean, like it's too much of a risk to put that much, and he's gonna want guaranteed money because of the injuries. So it's like you have to pay a lot and be a little nervous on your return. So I'll probably say no, unfortunately.
So I saw something on Twitter. Everyone knows Heisman Trophy winner, probably best quarterback prospect since, I don't know, John Elway. Caleb Williams reportedly said if he wanted to get drafted by anyone, he'd want to get drafted by the Dolphins. Some Dolphins fans were like, oh, yeah, he wants to be a for-life backup. Yo, I'm not going to lie to you. If Caleb Williams was slapped in the NFL, I think I'd put him top 10, top 15. Like,
wait. Are you talking about, what's his name's, what's that, Nick Wright? His ranking? He said Caleb Williams is better than
Josh Allen.
He's better than Dak Prescott and Josh Allen?
Yeah, that was crazy. Look, I'm not saying, like, maybe I am saying that, but I'm not jumping against that.
Maybe I am saying that.
All right. So Caleb Williams is like...
Just situation-wise. Look, if Tua bangs his head one more time this season, just call it, try to tank. Caleb Williams with Tyreek.
I got a question for you.
Jalen Waddle.
I got a question for you right now. The Bears start losing a lot of games next year. Justin Fields gets hurt, or he just starts playing really bad. Let's say he starts playing really bad. And the Bears get the first overall pick. Are they drafting Caleb Williams?
Oh, hell yeah. He's out of there. Yeah. Because here's the thing. I do give Justin Fields the benefit of the doubt. Not really the best situation to be in. But you're heading into year 3. He's shown the flashes with the arms, and he's very good with the legs. But year 3, you got to put it together. Look. Justin Fields will forever be compared to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence already has it. Trevor Lawrence is already one of the 8 best quarterbacks in football. And then you look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones wasn't amazing this year, but he made the playoffs in the 1 year where he had good play calling and weapons. You got to put it together. If he doesn't start showing arm talent, like truly putting it together by like the back half of next year, he's done.
If I'm the Patriots, am I trying to get a top 10 pick next year just to tank?
Bill Belichick will never tank.
I know he wouldn't tank like logically, but
like to get a quarterback. No, they're gonna just miss out on the playoffs. They're gonna have the 19th pick, and they're gonna pick Phoenix, Arizona legend Spencer Rattler.
Sounds like the Steelers every year.
Spencer Rattler and Bill Belichick. I think I'd pay to see that conversation, but
what the albino legend?
Yeah, come on, man. Everyone knows how I feel about Spencer Rattler. I love Spencer Rattler. But with that being said, guys, that was our playing predictions for the West and the East. We also had our Summits and Plummets All-Star game. And, of course, that was take the skyline, pay that QB. Everybody getting paid except Daniel Jones. He really shouldn't get paid. Send that brother to the XFL. He's done.
Yeah. Let him do the monologue with the rock.
Speaking on the topic of Caleb Williams, next week we will be evaluating NFL quarterbacks that are entering the draft this year, not next year.
Yeah, we won't be. If Caleb Williams in this draft, I'm taking number 1. But we will be talking about.
We're gonna go with the best quarterback in the draft, the worst quarterback in the draft, a sleeper.
The worst. I don't know if we can do the worst. We'd have to do some digging. Like, we have to find a dude who declared for the draft and never played a down of football.
Well, not worse, but like the worst of like in their position where they're supposed to get drafted at.
We'll talk about our top 5. We'll probably go best, favorite, sleeper, bust. Bust is a better word than.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're going to be a bust for where they're drafted at. But to be honest, nobody knows what's going on until the draft, because last year Malik Willis was projected to be a top 10 pick, and then he just fell.
Dude, he was getting 1 hype. It was in 1 or 2 hype. He was getting 2 hype. I know that for a fact.
And then I vividly remember telling you, I said, why did the Steelers just take Kenny Pickett?
Yeah, and your TV was ahead of mine, so I'm watching it with Giovanni, and it was just he was like, oh, he just took Kenny Pickett. I was just like, hey, on the bright side, he could probably play a little bit sooner.
On the bright side.
And honestly, he's been better than Malik Willis in what we've seen.
And Sam Howell's been the second best quarterback out of that class and playing 1 game.
QB1. He's always been QB1. In my eyes.
He was my QB1. He was my QB1 too.
He was my QB1. Pickett was like my QB6.
Remember what I told you to him? I vividly remember saying this is Baker 2.0. And people are like, what? Well, that's bad though. I'm like, no, it's
a little
not.
more athletic than Baker in my eyes. But guys, thanks again for tuning in. Again, like Danny said, next week we'll be talking about our favorite quarterbacks in this year's coming draft. This is obviously before any pro days or combines. We're kind of just going off game film, which is the most important. And throwing in a t-shirt and shorts doesn't prove you're a franchise quarterback. But make sure to like and download, depending on where you're watching this, whether it be on a podcast platform or YouTube. Again, we want to thank Chris for joining Sideline Summit as our 3rd co-host. We now have Tone, CB, DC. And with that being said, you guys have a great day, and we will catch you guys next week.
Hit the streets. Stay summer.